Perfect. Thank you once again for taking your valuable time and joining today's session. Today's topic of discussion is going to be, the webinar, Discover the CRM that completes your Unleashed workflow. Just to give you a bit of a background, I'm Suraj, by the way. Nice to meet you all. I've been with Prospect CRM for about 2 years now, handling the APAC market. And if you do decide to, take the free trial with us, we will have the privilege of meeting once again. It would be myself or my colleague Peter who would be taking the demo with you. But as far as today's session, I'll be going through it. And why is, Prospect a perfect match for Unleashed? And why doesn't it feel like, an extension than more like an add-on? So that's going to be something we're going to be looking at in today's session. And we're also going to give you some real business and profitable growth through all the various actionable insights that we've got at our end and some niche reporting tools that we've got, which are built specifically for Unleashed customers. And as you can see on the screen, just an example, please do feel free to look at the link that we're going to share with you. There are various testimonials and reviews left by customers, hundreds of both on us as a product and a company on our website. This is one particular example, like Helen, she said, the day she saw all the data flow through from Unleashed to Prospect CRM, it was life-changing. Of course, we hope this is going to be the same experience for everyone. And to give you a bit of a background, we have been integrated with Unleashed for about 5 years now, before each one of us were acquired by the Access Group a couple of years ago. That's one of the main reasons, both Unleashed and Prospect are part of the same company, and it made a bit more sense for us to run this webinar for a target audience. And also being that means our developers work a bit more closely, and the integration is a bit more tight ever since. It's a deep two-way integration as well. And for all your team members who couldn't make it for today's session, just wanted to mention that this session is recorded and we will be sending you through this link, hopefully by the end of today. And you can pass it on to your appropriate team members and have a look at the recording as well. And just to give you a bit of a comparison, I'm sure maybe a couple of you guys are already using a CRM, or some of y'all are just seeing what is the fuss about the integration and with Prospect. To give you a bit of a background, our CRM is built only for product businesses, which we believe Unleashed customers are a perfect fit for us. And that's the niche market that we focus on. But just to give you a bit of a comparison, these are the top top CRM providers out there. I'm sure maybe a couple of you all are already using some of them. And you can also draw this comparison to other top providers in the market. At this day and age, everyone's got similar star rating and pricing. That's one of the most basic requirements for any company. And if you look at it a bit more closely, you can see all these top CRMs are built for non-product companies, or more so like a service-led business, where there is an elongated sales process and each division tries to log in their activities. And it's usually for a high-ticket volume product. But whereas if you look at Prospect, our target audience are wholesalers, distributors, and manufacturers. We only deal with companies that sell physical products to B2B, and all our reporting tools and analysis are tailor-made for them and for this niche market. And also our roadmap of all the developments that we do, like say any the recent updates that we do, are all based on the feedback that we get from our existing customer base. So by far, you're looking at the right CRM solution. And just to add on to that, we will send you through this link again. We've been voted as the #1 StockOS CRM. Really, what does that actually mean? If you, and that's a niche kind of award for any CRM to win a #1 StockOS CRM. And you can see we've also got various accolades with our partners like Xero or QuickBooks. And we've also been voted as the most implementable, highest user adoption. In today's session, I hope I will be able to give you a glimpse of what we can offer and what the integration means. And also backed onto that, we heavily rely on this simple growth formula. The whole idea, it does look fairly simple, but for us to implement this, it does take quite an effort from your end and our end. With any CRM, like Salesforce, HubSpot, or Pipedrive, the whole idea is to bring in more customers. And this could be through your opportunity management or your marketing campaign. Once when you've bought them in, we do have that functionality. But apart from that, we also push them through a mechanism which really helps you to increase that average order value, order frequency, and retention. I'm going to break this down for you, which potentially increases your customer lifetime value. So together, that's equal to sales growth. And I'm sure you've seen this funnel of doing business a heaps of time. This is one of the most basic concepts of any CRM. As you can see, the CRM collects the leads that marketing generates, and this could be through your marketing campaigns, inquiry forms, or even from your cold calling efforts. And once when you qualify them, push them through a sales process. This could be that initial level face-to-face meeting or that initial phone call, sending a quote, or also sending samples if that's part of your business process, and finally closing the deal and getting that first order in. But as you know, in wholesale and distribution, for you to break even, it may take anywhere between, up to 4, 5, or even 10 orders. And if this first order is a bit tentative, this whole process can be a loss-making effort. And unfortunately, all the top CRMs we just showed you mainly focus on filling the funnel, bringing as many as customers in, getting the first order, boom, that's where they're done. But in Prospect, we're a bit different. We try to go a step ahead. Not only do we onboard your customers, but we also push them through the mechanism, which I just showed you in the previous slide, which really focuses on that increasing that average order value, increasing order frequency, and most importantly, customer retention. You try to hold them and make them buy your product as long as possible, and you don't have that leaky bucket effect where you're bringing in more customers and they're going through the other side of the funnel. So that's going to be the main area of focus in today's session. And this is what we call the growth playbook. So this is something our onboarding team will sit with you and focus on the areas that you're quickly looking to, improving on. Like it's a simple breakdown of the growth formula, which is more customers and higher customer lifetime value. And you can see those 7 components that we discussed. And each of these components have like some planning and configuration that is actually required. But in today's session, we're going to give you those early return on investment. Once when you start a free trial, we'll show you straight away how you can get that early paybacks. But if you do have the process of sending a lot of quotes, we have the process of automating that quote to order workflow. And also, if you run targeted marketing campaigns, we have the ability to connect to few partners we've got with third-party marketing tools. You can add them to your campaign. Any responses that you get from your campaign will get saved under marketing under campaigns. So you can pretty much access all the key information from the CRM itself. And lastly, I just want to touch upon this acronym called RFM and what that stands for, because it's a lifeline of the CRM. And we will also be sharing with you the slides as well as a part of the recording. RFM stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. So based on your sales history from Unleashed, what we're trying to achieve here is we're categorizing your customers into champion, loyal, at risk, and so on. Champions are the ones who bought recently, buy often, or spend the most, your early adopters. Compared to an at-risk customer, they did spend big money at one point in time, but they've dropped in revenue due to various reasons. Again, this could be due to seasonality, change in buyer, change in pricing. Whatever may be the reason, we indicate those customers to you, and we also give you some actionable insights on how you can win them back to that average order cycle. And also, once when you do take a free trial, we automatically do this for you straight away, and you get that early return on investment. So you'll be able to see which are the customers that are actually performing well for you and who's falling off that pattern. And there is another segment that we've added. Research has proven that once when you onboard a customer, the fourth order is like the tipping point. That's when, the fourth order is when your customers actually consider you as a potential supplier. So until they've done that, they will remain in this segment. And this gives an opportunity for your sales team to work with them a bit more closely, build that relationship organically, and eventually drive them up through this segment and make them your loyal and champion customer. And I guess another reason why there's so many CRMs out there, but I guess most of you all are keen to see how the integration looks like and what's the fuss about, like, what is the two-way sync and with zero friction. I'm going to quickly show you what's the kind of syncing that happens with Unleashed, a nice little graphic here. So as I did mention, we've got developers working a bit more closely ever since we've been acquired by the Axis Group, and it's a deep two-way sync. It's a tightly integrated software. So through the integration, we pull through some key data from Unleashed, like the currencies. You might be dealing with the local currencies and some suppliers' currency. All the data gets pulled through. tax, GSTs, VAT, and then any kind of warehouse. If you've got multiple warehouse location, that's captured as well. Of course, we're pulling through your entire customer details and your suppliers information from Unleashed, and we're saving that up. And most importantly, this is where I guess all the top CRMs miss in this kind of functionality, where we not only pull your customer data, but we also pull through your product files and your entire inventory list from Unleashed, which hopefully I can show you how that looks like in this demo account. And finally, we also do pull through your sales history. And that's the main reason how we categorize your customers with the RFM segment based on all the sales history, invoices, and any credits as well. That's something we pull through. What are we trying to do with all this data? We do a bit of syncing, and then unlike in Unleashed, where you don't have access to any front of office reports like for marketing and sales, we do a bit of sales analysis. We have certain dashboards which will help you quickly assess which are the target areas you need to focus right away. And we also have the ability to process sales orders in the CRM. So that is where you can do a quote, or you can also push to a sales order from the CRM, and that will sync back into Unleashed as a draft sales order. Then your operations team can pick, ship, and invoice it. And new products, this could be a bit of a catch-22 situation, especially for maybe customers who have got like a wide range of catalogs and they don't want to save all the products in Unleashed. Just for quoting purposes, you can edit the description line and you can add products just for the quote. And once the order has been confirmed, you can create the products back in Unleashed as well. New customers, this is one area where so far whatever I've showed you is how do you target and increase that average order value for an existing customer. But in the CRM, we do have the ability to hold all your prospects, and we have sales pipeline reporting, and we can certainly convert your prospects into ordering customer, which is another key functionality that we've got in the CRM. Hopefully, I can show you all these information that we've just shared right now. And let's take a look at the live demo. Before we move on to that, I also wanted to mention we do have a Q&A session towards the end. So please feel free to save all your questions and you can drop it via the chat. There is a Q&A tab. You can hit that and enter all your questions. Hopefully, I will be able to answer all the questions, or we will get back to you on that just then. Let me quickly share my screen. I hope you're able to see my screen all right. Let me quickly check that. Awesome, perfect. So as you can see right here, this is pretty much how the UI looks like for Prospect CRM. Maybe a couple of you have already seen the webinar or you've taken a trial, I'm not sure. But one of our account managers or new business Unleashed team member jokingly says, we are basically the blue version of Unleashed, which I guess I should agree on that because the data does look pretty similar, the UI as well. But right now, I'm logged into a company as a support user to Coffee and Beans. They've got everything to do with coffee. They sell missionary beans, a bit of servicing ticket. We're going to show you. And please do apologies first up if there's any data missing. We do try to keep this intact. But yeah, let's just quickly move on. And this is pretty much the main dashboard we're going to be focusing on for a while. It's called the Account Manager's Dashboard. We've got various other dashboards. Spending time we'll quickly touch upon. But what this does is this pretty much gives you a reflection of all your existing customers who have placed an order with you at least once. And this can also be set up to certain account managers. If you've already established those rules in Unleashed, we import that data and you can certainly set them up and give them access. So once when he or she logs in, they'll only be able to see the accounts that they deal with and the kind of revenue that they're making as well. And front and center, picking up from where we left, is the RFM analysis. So based on the sales history, we've categorized the customers into the following segment. Let's quickly have a look at the champion customer. You can see we pretty much pulled through all the data like the name, type, account manager, first order date, last order date, and the total order count since the time they've come on board. The beauty of the CRM is we just don't project that data to you, but we actually provide you with some actionable insights with this 3-dot menu. You can save it to Excel and make this into a contact list if you please straight away. All our reports can be saved to Excel, and you can add them to a campaign as well. So if you're already using MailChimp, Klaviyo, or Spotler, and if you do want to run a targeted marketing campaign, you can certainly export this contact list, add your flyers, and any responses that you get from the campaign will get saved under marketing, under campaigns. And finally, we also have the integration to Google Maps section. This could be quite crucial for your sales team or account managers who do their on-site visits. You can pull specific reports based on the postcodes that you've set up, and you can also send invites from the CRM. Now, what I'm going to do is show you a bit more of a deep dive into one of these customers. Let's go into Byron Bay Coffee. So all this data is pulled through from Unleashed, and all the contact information here is directly in sync with Unleashed. So it's a bit of a dual two-way sync that's going on. So if you do update any phone number or website, that gets automatically pushed into Unleashed, and it saves any double handling that you have to do from your end. And we also give you an activity feed, a top level information of all the orders that have come through. 5 days ago, there was a massive order. Prior to that, we give you a monthly breakdown on how the orders have come through. We will give you a bit more of a detailed analysis on that. And we also show you the categorization section, like, the type, the account manager, put all these fields over here. These are configurable. If you do feel this doesn't match your business process, you can certainly edit this and configure it according to your requirement. Similar to that, this entire screen is customizable. If you feel it's a bit overpopulated and you want to keep it as crisp as possible, you can certainly do that and save it accordingly. And on the right, you've also got an at-a-glance section, which shows you, who are your champion customers, which segment does it belong to. And we also give you a bit of a rolling period, a comparison on, last year versus the previous 365 days. And this is a rolling on period. Tomorrow, it'll be the last 365 days tomorrow to the previous 365 days on that time, same date. And also a financial year to date. We've also got Google Maps integration. So this gives you the exact geographical location of that customer. And we also import data like the address section, any shipping addresses you've got. Contacts, as I did mention, unlike other CRMs, we don't have any limitations to contacts. You can add as many as contacts as you please, as long as you've got the email address. We have some roles that you can already use them pre-filled, or you can configure them to your requirement. The moment you've done that, if you've enabled the two-way sync, the contact information will flow back into Unleashed as well. All the CRM things I'll quickly come back to. Documents is a key area where any emails you send, any project proposals, all that gets saved right here. And Unleashed, this is the tab that opens to Unleashed directly. So it's directly in contact with Unleashed. You can see the name, customer code, which type do they belong to, any outstanding, what's the credit limit like, what are the discount do they pertain to, tax code, price list, and the payment terms. All this data is captured from Unleashed. And if you do give us access to your secondary account, which is, say, QuickBooks or Xero, we can track all your aged receivables and any outstanding invoices, all your credit notes as well. Just quickly going on to the sales transaction tab, we show you the line-by-line view of all the orders that have come through. And if it's been ordered, delivered, and invoiced, you can see that. And also the local currency that you're dealing with, the base value, the margin with each of these orders, and also a transaction number and date. And you've got close to 600 odd transactions here. So if you just want to go in and you're after a particular product, so if you just want to look at the beans transaction, you can quickly go in and see what are the kind of beans that they've got from you, or a specific sales order. You can pretty much search that through. And as I did mention in that graphic that I showed you, we collect all this data. What do we try to do? We give you a bit of a front office analysis. We give you the sales analysis, like we show you the segment, spend, order frequency, and the last order date. That's the invoice value by month, and that's the order value by month. And as you can see, in 2023, there was a massive spike in revenue. Other than that, they've been fairly quiet or a bit consistent with certain months. And if you only want to focus on 2025, you can see how well they've been performing. And as simple as that, you can move back. And once when you open this report, we give you the breakdown of all the orders. No wonder 2025, they've had a massive revenue in March. And then you can see other than that, it was July 2024, and then few quiet months. And we also give you a breakdown of products with these analysis. We show you the top products that they've got from you, both by value and by order frequency. And you can see with this interactive pie diagram, the Breville coffee machine is by far the top selling product with 27.4% revenue, followed by another SKU, 24.9%. You get the idea of the breakdown. And once when I open this report, so this is where you get, we dive in a bit more deeper on this customer. They've got totally 13 SKUs from you, and the Breville coffee machine has been the top consuming product close to 200,000 worth of revenue and 120 units sold. And you get the idea of a bit of a descending order value of all the top products that they've got. And if I click on this, this is where we get the tagline of the #1 stock OS CRM. Unlike other CRMs, through the integration to Unleashed, we just don't pull your customer data, but we also pull through your entire product files as well, right from the SKU code, name, description, specifications, and any list price, cost price, total stock available, when is the next shipment due, if it's a stockable item, which category does it belong to, and also the images that you have set up in Unleashed as well. By all means, Unleashed will still remain your master data. So if you do want to make any changes to this queue, you still have to do it in Unleashed, and through the overnight sync, it will reflect back into the CRM. And also, again, on that graphic, we showed you what we pull through stock levels, as I did mention. So if you've got multiple warehouse locations, we show you available stock and the total stock. And if you've given us your suppliers information, we show you when is the next shipment due. And this could be quite handy, especially if you're out of stock and if you've got any back orders due. Your sales team, they don't have to look into Unleashed. They can work right here from the CRM itself. And we also give the list of the most recent transactions that have come through for this product. Sales analysis, it's again a bit more of a deep dive in. We show you the top buyers. Byron Bay Coffee by far have been the top consuming customer. And we also give you a bit of a buying pattern. And as I did mention earlier, you can save all our reports to Excel. So this gives you an idea of what's the kind of stock that you've moved, and you can certainly hold the right amount of stock for your next financial year. This could be quite handy. And moving on, the CRM can be your single source of truth. If you are, holding any additional images or spec documents in a spreadsheet or Dropbox, you can use the CRM for all those information as well. And we honor any price tiers you have set up in Unleashed. All this will be pulled through, and it will be set on appropriate customers. So when you do a quote or a sales order, it will reflect on it straight away. Before we move on, the whole idea of the CRM is to increase your average order value and improve your profitability and give you that early return on investment. So this particular tool, what it does is we have the ability to link products to the Breville coffee machine. So if you're having a chat with a customer, if you've said, for an hour, we're looking to make anywhere between 100 coffees, you can recommend this machine. But if someone says they make close to 250 coffees, maybe you can link products and make that as an upgrade, must sell or recommended. Just as an example here, we have linked two products as recommended, which is the knockbox and the brushed stainless steel. So every time you quote this particular product or a sales order, these two products will come up as a prompt, trying to encourage your sales members to increase that average order value. So I'm going to quickly show how that reflects when we do a quote on my end. And let's quickly move on to the Byron Bay Coffee. There is one other important reporting tool we've got, which is the Magic Matrix Analysis. It is a cross-selling tool. It's a Harvard Business School idea that we've adapted in the CRM. So we show you some cross-selling opportunities. For instance, Byron Bay Coffee, they've got the machines, ingredients, and the other categories, but they've never got the display equipment, so sugar sticks. So how do we make them aware of them, create an opportunity, track them, and eventually make them buy the sugar sticks from you? We'll give you a global view on how you can use that to your advantage, but just wanted to make a quick note on that. Just quickly moving back to the main screen over here. So as I did mention, so we're back onto the main screen, and these two reports over here, it really helps you, increasing that higher lifetime value. So we've got AI integrated in the CRM, as you know, that's like the buzz acronym in the market. So what this does is it calculates the average order days between each of your customers. And what's the shortest time they take to place an order? What's the longest time? Let me quickly show you a preview of that. For instance, you can see Browns of Ipswich, they used to place an order every 54 days. They've missed out that average warning signal, taken 93 days in the past. Right now, it's been 252 days. If they do place an order today, they will get pushed out of this report. That's how the CRM is constantly recalculating and relearning. And that's the kind of revenue that can be collected, once when you start a free trial, this report will be, your sales team will love this report. And similar to that, we also give you a bit of a customer trends report. We show you who's growing, static, and declining. Again, we show you a bit of a spend in the last 365 days compared to the previous 365 days and who's growing in revenue. For instance, beans and stuff, they've been doing really well. And you can also see the ones who are dropping in revenue. For instance, Byron Bay, the example that we saw, not a great one. There has been a bit of a drop in revenue. But again, the whole idea is to give you all these actionable insights and make your sales team aware of certain customers. And either you can make them into a calling list or you can add them to a campaign and run targeted marketing campaigns with that as well. Uh, and also the other thing, when you do start a free trial, we wanted to give you what's part of, and if you want to become a subscribed customer, the other question is if there's any additional cost. So with the professional version that we are seeing today, you do have access to your primary account, which is going to be unleashed. And you can also connect, all this is part of the subscription. You can connect to your accounting software to pull in your aged receivables. With marketing, these are the three top partners we integrate to: MailChimp, Klaviyo, and Spotler. We can get your payments upfront through Stripe, as you all know. And with emails, we connect to Outlook and Gmail to track all your emails as well. So that's another little, all this is added on with the subscription cost. Needs engagement again, back onto the main screen. Needs engagement again is based on when was the last time you logged any kind of activity under a customer? Like, when was the last time you sent an email or, sent a quote? This will be relearning constantly and it'll keep you updated. So if you miss out on reaching out to one particular customer, this is a great little starting point. Problems, as you can see, it's an after-sales ticketing solution. We do have a workflow, and you can track all your problems like damaged goods on delivery, warranty and claims, any manufacturing issues, and this can certainly be resolved in a timely manner. Hopefully, time pending. I'll try to give you a quick example. Close rates is an sales pipeline management tool we've got based on if you're won or lost an opportunity, will reflect right here. It'll show you all the opportunities that you're dealing with. Even if you lost it, it'll reflect right here. And I'll quickly show you how the sales pipeline looks like as well. 12 months order, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's based on all the orders that have come through in the current calendar year with a bit of a monthly breakdown. And we also give you a nice little preview of a comparison between this month versus last month to see. So this month has been phenomenal, which is a great sign. 2 more weeks to go, end of financial year as well. And also you can see right here, this is what I mentioned with the deep two-way sync. So any sales order that's been processed and unleashed will reflect here straight away. It's pretty live. And if you process an order in the CRM, that will reflect in unleashed as well. That's how deep two-way sync the integration is. And with these reports, we can do a bit of a filtration. Again, you can add some fields, customize it according to your needs. So that's pretty much with the data that we pull through from, Unleashed. So what I'm going to do is to show you some live examples right now. And before that, I also want to give you an example. One question we get asked every webinar is, do we have a mobile app? So we do have a responsive app. One of the main reasons being it puts the onus on the customer. When it's a mobile app, you got to do those constant updates. We do releases on a monthly basis. Having a responsive app, you get to use the most recent version. And you can also use it on, like a iPad mini or tab, and as long as you've got internet, your sales members can access it anywhere. They can add any contacts on the go if they feel it's a potential customer. Just going back, so we have the ability to create companies on the go. You can create opportunities for sales pipeline. It could be for new store, and you can choose if it's a new customer ongoing. And we've also got this pipeline, like, qualified in sales process, won or lost. Again, this can be configured to your needs as well. You can certainly track that opportunity and try to close it in a timely manner. Similar to that, we also have an inquiry form, which means we have the ability to create an inquiry form, post it on your website. Any inquiries that comes from your website as a contact form will get saved under marketing under inquiries. So it could be a potential contact us form or a complaints form. All that can be reflecting right here. And then the admin person creates the company information, and then you can assign that company to a sales member to track that sales opportunity. And quickly showing you another little key piece of information is we've got some notification settings that you can toggle on. Once when somebody sets you a task from the CRM, you can make that instant or daily, or you can also see any new orders that are coming through reflect. If you turn on the toggle, you get email notifications straight away to your Outlook or Gmail inbox. That's another little feature we've got. And and if you do have an Excel sheet, as long as it's a CSV file, we do offer a data import for you during onboarding. So as long as it's in the format that we expect you to send it, we can do a bulk data import for you rather than adding those prospects one by one. So now quickly going on, let's say a lot of you, I think, quoting is something you might be doing a lot. You might want to see how quick and easy it is in the CRM. What I'm going to do is show you Michelle Dury. So she works for Browns of Ipswich. So beauty of this global search is any key characters that you type, it's going to pull through all the data that's associated with that. So let's work with Michelle Dury, who is the main decision maker. This is what we call the breadcrumb menu. So you know exactly where you're located under Browns of Ipswich. Similar to Byron Bay Coffee, they have done pretty well. Apologies, it's just taking a bit longer than expected. And you can see right there, and any sales history or all the key information gets pulled through. And we highly recommend you to send work on, you can also see this customer should have ordered by now. So we give you all these key actionable insights. And we recommend you working on a contact so you can track back all the email communications or any communication straight away. And you can also see 20% discount. So she is eligible for an additional 20% discount. So, okay, how are we going to go about with this? Before I do a quote, I want to show you two main features like this. If you want to leave any other appropriate information for all your team's visibility, you can add any general notes right here. Once when you post it, it will reflect on the activity feed. And you can also set multiple activity feeds like received email, incoming call. All this could be quite crucial when you're pulling an activity report. But there is another element that I did want to show you, which is assign a task. So we can, this feature, you can assign this task to anyone internally in the CRM. Just for the demo purpose, I'm assigning it to myself. You can say Michelle called and ask to send a quote. And you can either choose this for a specific time and date. The moment you save this, what happens is you get a dual notification. One is it reflects on the activity feed, and you get an email notification saying that there's a task that needs to be actioned. And also, you can see with the bell icon over here, it will reflect on the list of things to do. And until you've actioned this, it will reflect right here. So it's important to go in, click on the task, clear task, and then save. So the whole idea behind this exercise is if once when you have set up a task internally, it gives the visibility until he or she has actioned it, it will reflect and all the team members are on the same page. And the other thing we highly recommend you doing is sending emails because we do have integration to Gmail and Outlook, and we've got some set templates. Uh, you can also configure this to as many as templates you'd like. With the intro email, it'll save a lot of time with the standard text that you were going to type, who you're actioning it to, and who's it coming from. During the free trial period process, this particular functionality is disabled, but I'm just going to show you how it looks like on the activity feed. As you can see right there, it gives, like an entire visibility to the team members. When was the last email sent? And we've also got tracking capability if Michelle has clicked on any links or processed anything. And if Michelle is going to respond to this to this email, the response comes back to your Gmail or Outlook inbox, and through the Save to CRM plugin service, you can save that response back into the CRM. So that's how you can track all that email correspondence moving forward. Okay, from here, we know what we have to do exactly, which is by all means, again, I want to mention this, you can process a sales order in the CRM, no issues whatsoever. As long as you know the right SKU code and the product and pricing, you can enter that up. And once when you confirm the order, that will push into Unleashed as a draft invoice, and then the operations team can pick, ship, and invoice it. But just some customers would like to see how the quote is done. For then, I'm just going to do a quick quote and do a top up order. You can set orders based on if they order off a certain template, you can rather than save a lot of time by keeping gold pack, silver pack, and bronze pack. Once when you hit that up, the quote gets pre-populated automatically, and all this data gets pre-populated from Unleashed. Once when you hit create, it's going to take us to the landing page of the quote. And as you can see right here, like if Michelle does give you any PO number, you can enter that right there. And once when you hit the drop-down menu, the CRM is pretty smart. It only shows you the most frequently ordered items by Michelle. As you can see right here, You've got a couple of, the beans she's got. Maybe we can click on that. And let's search for a product. Let's go for the Breville coffee machine. And this is what I wanted to show you. Since we did link the knockbox and the brushed steel stainless, they have coming up as a prompt. If she does want to add this, you can certainly hit the toggle on and that gets populated. And we'll also give you a bit of a global search with the multi-line quoting system. You can see right here the recently purchased item by Michelle, or you can also go to the most popular ones. And you can see what are we give you the list of the pricing, the stock available. Maybe let's just put the beans, and you can hit add and close. That gets pre-populated. And you can also amend the quantities over here. We did see that she is eligible for 20% discount. So with the settings, you can certainly edit the pricing and discount. And let's give a 20% discount on all the items that she's ordered. And that does get calculated. And since she is an existing customer, if she will have your price list. If she does send you the PO, as long as it's a CSV file with the right SKU code, description, and pricing, you can drag and drop that in this dotted box. It will get populated and saves a lot more of your time. There are a few more things that you can do on the quote. You can definitely add group, and we can do a bit of grouping. Let's say this is beans. And then the next category, we can just say it's machine. And from here, and then we can also try to, if you just want to see the subtotal or the grand total, we can certainly take out the subtotals as well. We can only list the grand total. If for some cases you might, if you're selling a particular product and, or a machine, they do need all those components. So you can certainly do those settings as well. And we can replicate your Unleashed quote template during the onboarding process, or you can use. We've got so many templates here, like, the quote documents. We've got a quote document with heavy branding. It's a standard Word document. This can certainly be configured to your requirement. So there are so many things that you can do in this CRM. And from here on, you can either confirm it right here. And once when you're confirmed, that will be pushed into Unleashed, or you can just send an email to the customer to get a bit of a confirmation. So this is one thing I wanted to show you with the number of templates we've got. We've got a basic email quote, which shows you how this looks like, or you can choose the simple cover PDF. And mainly this comes with action buttons. I'm not going to send this email. I just want to show you how this template looks like. When it's fully configured, it actually, makes things so much more easier and quicker for your team, and it puts the onus on the customer. Again, this process could be useful for certain customers. Just want to show you that we do have this functionality. And you can see with the logo, you can see we had the beans and we've got the machine. And if Michelle is happy with all these pricing, she can just hit approve. That'll go to the landing page. That'll take us to the payment gateway. She can enter the PO number, hit approve, and then that gets pushed into the CRM, and that gets in return pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order through the integration, and then rest is business per usual. So that's the kind of another way where you can automate the workflow completely. As you can see, thank you for approving the order. I'm not going to bother sending this email. Let's quickly come and refresh the screen. And as you can see, there's been an order confirmed and it was taken by the system, which is the customer confirmed it. As I did mention, it's just an opportunity for you guys to test this out, or you can confirm a quote right here in the CRM. And at the start of the demo, I did mention any quotes and all that will be reflecting right here. You can also get this payment upfront via Stripe. And with delivery methods, any delivery methods you have set up in Unleashed, we do honor that. And you can also configure delivery methods if you are shipping it to regional Australia, New Zealand, or any other part of the world in Asia. Like, you can certainly configure those settings as well. So that's pretty much on how do you handle an existing customer, nice and easy, and take that quick quote and also confirm that and turn that into a sales order. So as I did mention, once when you send a quote like that, if you do turn on the toggle for new orders, whenever a new order comes through, you will get an email notification as well straight away. There are a few more things, as I did mention, I wanted to show you. Let's quickly show you the problem ticketing solution. Hypothetically, let's say, like a couple of the bean bags that you sent or the machine, there is a bit of an issue and you want to resolve that issue. So again, under Michelle, so let's go into the contact here. And let's go into the plus symbol over here. You can create a problem. Then you can say damaged goods. And you can choose the source. And just with the type, you can choose it as just a delivery issue or a product issue if it's in case for a machine or any servicing equipment. You can see a technical issue, and there is a workflow right from new issue, pass on to the team supplier, and you can certainly configure this as well. But just for this exercise, I'm going to choose this as a delivery issue. Once when you hit create, it's going to take us to the workflow of that problem issue. And as you can see right here, until you've set a follow-up task, it will not let you leave this record. So it's quite important. Collect image from Michelle or whatever appropriate information that you want to type right there, and that will reflect again on the activity feed. And you can choose a new issue. You can change it to working on with us. You can do a lot of changes right here. And say for some instance, if you are paying an on-site visit and without save Michelle the trouble of sending that image, you can go into the document section and you can certainly go in and then add a photo. You can upload a photo. You can just click the issue, upload it, and then save it there. And that's one way of just handling an issue. And then once when that's done, you can either go in and say working on status or close successfully and clear this task. Just a quick little example to show you how you can quickly create a problem and then resolve it in a timely manner. Again, there is problem workflow for delivery issues, technical issues, and product issues as well. You can certainly, again, configure that to your requirement, but we do have that ability to track all that information, as you can see. Lastly, I did mention we are going to show you the magic matrix solution, which is one of the key elements. Before I do that, I want to show you what are the kind of reports you can access in the CRM once when you start the free trial. Under sales, we've got heaps of reports like customers who've got X but not Y, decreasing revenue customers who you can be on top of. Or if you go into new opportunities, this is one particular report we would highly encourage you to access. This gives you the list of all the quotes that you've got and also like any new opportunities that you're working on. As you can see right here, it gives you the list, and then you can go in and then manage those filters. You can also add a filter and you can show the status and the salesperson. And you can see in due course of time, you might have hundreds of opportunities, and then you can see by which status, okay, which are in quoting stage or which are unqualified, and you can go through this process of filtration as well. And certainly we do have certain other views that you can do. And you can, again, we also have a Kanban view, which I'll quickly show you. And we also have the ability to create your reports as well. If you do feel none of these reports does match your requirement, we do have the ability to create your own reports in the CRM. And again, moving on to the dashboard, this is what I mentioned with the sales pipeline. We've got a bit of a Kanban view, which will show you, which are the pipeline. That's just a monthly view. You can see in the past this month. And that's just if you want to move it to your sales process or pushing to close in one, fairly useful for your sales forecast meetings. And sales rep, we give you a bit of a leaderboard comparison between this month versus last month. What are the quotes that are pushing to close or slipping away, and likely an optimistic value. It's a fairly, intuitive, dashboard that shows you where exactly your reps stand. And sales manager's dashboard is a bit more of a holistic approach, which shows you the entire operations of the business, right from the total customers, net change you're growing, close deals, pipelines, any problems, and what's the comparison on year on year. And finally, we do have this Magic Matrix dashboard. This is again a Harvard Business School idea that we have adapted in the CRM. We do pull through, as I did mention, your product categories that you have set up in Unleashed. As you can see right here, you've got coffee carts. 3 customers have bought it, 29 are aware, 9 are aware. We've got 2 opportunities. So how do we kind of use this to our advantage? So once when I open this matrix, again, we put your customers on the x-axis and your product on the y-axis. And these categories are already chosen. And Red obviously meaning, they're unaware. Green means they've bought that. Blue means they've got an opportunity. Amber means they've been made aware by adding them to a campaign. If you do notice a bit closely, we can run targeted marketing campaigns for an account manager or a particular segment, like let's say champion loyal, new customers about to sleep. And one thing that you notice is every particular category has had decent amount of, orders coming in, or at least they're aware of that. But sugar sticks is one which none of them have been aware, or they have no clue that you've sourced that product. So what we can do, it can be a simple product, but you can certainly generate that cross-selling opportunity. You can go in and then just add sugar sticks to that. And you've already chosen the segment. You've got 18 customers. Once when you hit next, you only want to run it to the ones who are unaware of, and hit next again. And then you can create a new campaign activity, which I'm not going to do. Export this contact list to MailChimp, Klaviyo, Spotler, add your flyers, and send that campaign off. Once when you do that, what happens to this particular report? All these red dots turn into amber, which means right now they're aware that there is, and you source that product category. And through the integration, if they do respond to that campaign and say they're interested, they'd like to know more, we can create an opportunity on that particular customer, and that will turn into blue. You can track that sales pipeline. Eventually, when they buy that category, that turns into green. So the whole idea behind this report is to analyze and understand as many as cross-selling opportunities, and in turn try to increase your average order value. Uh, with that being said, I've been mindful of the time as well. Um, I hope we were able to show you some of the top level features and functionality of the CRM. Of course, if we have to be showing you every single aspect of it, we might be here till the end of today or tomorrow. I hope we were able to show you the top features. And I just want to quickly jump back to the presentation. And just as a next step, and give some time for Q&A as well. So what are the next steps from here? Like, how do you get to analyze this free for 14 days? That's something we offer. You can take a free trial with us straight away. Either you can go onto our website, we will send you through the instructions where you can take the free trial, or I would highly recommend Unleashed customers just going through your portal and try the CRM for free. There's a tab. Once when you start the process, it's pretty much automated. We pull through your Unleashed API ID and key, and then in a couple of days, 24 to 48 hours, all your data is in the CRM. Hopefully, like Helen from Pure Medic, you will be blown to see all the data flowing through. And then this is something where we will send you through this link in the follow-up email. It's a nice little way to benchmark yourself with the industry standards and see where exactly you want to focus. Like, do you want repeat orders or increase order frequency or retention? So we would highly encourage you to take this nice little growth playbook scorecard quiz. And as a thank you for joining today's session, we do realize it's the end of financial year in Australia. And I guess for customers who are in Australia or in New Zealand or whoever has attended this meeting, as a thank you, we want to say if you do take the free trial before the end of this week and subscribe before the end of month, we would be able to give you the first 3 months at half price on our new CRM. So that's a really, a great little offer to make use the most of with this end of financial year offer. And yeah, thank you once again. I hope, to get some questions coming through from your end. I've got a question. Thank you for that. Can you talk about dealing with different contacts in various departments? For sure. Thank you for raising that question. So as I did mention to you guys previously, so we don't have any limitations when it comes to holding contacts of different departments in one particular company. So as an example, if you do go into Byron Bay Coffee, if you've already established that in Unleashed, we pull through that data accordingly, or you can add contacts and you can set specific roles that they've got. They could be a junior buyer, main decision maker, or others. Or you can also configure this if you're dealing with projects. If you're dealing with one project manager, project manager 1, 2, 3, you can add all of them. And then under each of these contacts, you do have the ability to send quotes and create new opportunities, and you can manage that accordingly. So we do have that ability. It's just that it needs to be, those rules has to be established and created in the CRM. As of when you take the free trial, we only pull through the basic contact information that you've set up in Unleashed, which could mainly be your admin contacts or your accounts team you're trying to chase the payments. But in the CRM, we do have the ability to manage contacts from different departments and divisions from the same company. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you again for another question. Can you talk about email integration to Outlook? Will the Outlook client have a Prospect application? Also, will email from customer and Outlook come into Prospect dashboard? Thank you for that question. So basically, when you send an email from the CRM, it will look exactly like how it's come from your Outlook inbox that's been configured. And then we don't have a direct button, but I'll just give you a quick little example that we just sent to Michelle earlier. We do have a save to CRM plugin service. And when you hit that up, it will show you if you do want to save this email under a contact or under an opportunity, you can choose the appropriate place or the company. When you choose that, and it'll search if there's any opportunities there or if there's any contacts there, and you can save it under the appropriate contact. That's one way of saving emails. And if you do get a response from your customer for any emails that you've sent, which comes to your Outlook inbox, it doesn't automatically flow back into the CRM. You have to go in, choose that response, hit the Save to CRM plugin service, and then it gets pushed back into the CRM. That's not automated, unfortunately. You just have to do it in a bit of a manual way at this stage. Thank you. We've got another question. Thank you once again. Using map functionality, is territory sales visit planning possible eventually on the inbuilt map? With territory sales, you can pull through specific reports, like say on the contact or the company information. We do have the ability to add fields, as I did mention, and you can pretty much go in. You can choose the address line. And then if you'd only wanted to see the customers who are in Victoria as an example, and you can certainly pull through that information, and then you can show, pretty much hit the show on map section. We don't have, you'll only have to create those customers, like, pulling these reports based on specific postcode or address line information. But we don't have the ability where you can build like a route in the CRM. You can certainly create that report, but from there, you'll have to send tasks, like set tasks on that each and every single customer that you're planning to visit. We don't have like an inbuilt map system in the CRM as yet, but we do have certainly the ability to perform or pull specific reports based on postcode. Thank you. Thank you so much for all those questions. Really appreciate it. I think with having said that, we've got a couple more minutes left before we wind up today's session. Um, and if you are looking at one more thing, we get asked a lot, the pricing. Um, It is $631 per month, and it does include up to 4 users in AUD. And for New Zealand customers, it's $691 per month. And the additional users for Australian customers, that would be 115, and for New Zealand, it's 126. And as I did mention, you do have the 30% discount if you do subscribe end of this month. And there is one little investment that you might have to consider, which is the CSM plan. The standard plan is 15% of your subscription cost. It has the ability to have a dedicated support member to all your queries. Once you're onboarded, there is a live chat support system, telephone callbacks. The the response period is very quick, but considering that to an essential plan, which is absolutely free, but it's based on a lot of self-help documents, that's something you might have to consider. But if you do take the standard CSM plan, the 50% discount will reflect on this for the first 3 months, and then you can scale back to the essential plan if need be as well. So that's the kind of pricing structure at the moment. Um, With that having said, I guess all the questions have been answered, and thank you so much for patiently sitting through today's session. We really hope that you would make use of the offer and take the free trial, and looking forward to see you once again with your data and going through another demo.